Okay, so we're going to continue with my Nike as a company, as a brand, and as a website. First, we want to ask ourselves, why Nike? We really want to take a look at Nike as well as Nike Plus and Nike Fuel. Nike is a company that created a popular brand. The logo Just Do It is scattered all over the world. Nike Plus, however, is a feature application of Nike. Think of it as a service to Nike. This is where inspiration and motivation is created. It is where we see active athletes working out. Both Nike and Nike Plus have the main goal of inspiring and creating profit. And here's a look at Nike, and just so in case you guys aren't 100% sure, this is a look at Nike Plus, which is known as Nike Fuel, and here's just a quick look at how the website shows it off. Objectives. I really want to take a look at the objectives that I had for Nike's website and Nike as a brand. I chose 3 objectives. And one of the first ones is inspire and innovate. And when we think to inspire and innovate, you would gear it more towards a younger audience. Young kids looking to be athletes or current athletes in college. Through campaign ads featuring celebrity athletes or a famous spokesperson, they inspire young adults. The main objective, however, is to sell your brand, the products as well as the message. Services would be things such as the Nike Trading Club. Nike Plus or Nike Fuel, we know that Nike is all about the logo Just Do It. The idea behind it is to be active, log your data, sign in. It's about creating this community of people who engage in active activities, and that's really what Nike Plus or Nike Fuel really comes down to. It was important for me to really go through the goals as well, because in order to come to terms with the key performance indicators, metrics, personas, we really need to take a look at what it is that we have as goals for our brand. Based off of my goals and objectives, we can now help to determine our metrics. So the goals that I really came up with was to experiment with campaigns and streaming through social media, determining page interactions, and improve social media activity. When it comes to creating a strong course of action for your business or for Nike, steps need to be taken. So if you look down here, business objectives to goals to KPIs to metrics is really the steps that need to be taken in order to come up with a great persona and come up with a great target audience. KPIs are known as key performance indicators, and they're usually a number based off of our business objectives. They're a type of metric to see how a business is doing based off of an original objective. So let's take the example of the objective market and sell worldwide footwear. My objective is to sell apparel. My KPI would be number of visitor loyalty. Targets for this KPI could be made for the new year of January 2015. An example, let's do target sales increase by 20% by January 2015. Key metrics, however, are a great way to help measure and determine objectives. We would use them as a way to assist our key performance indicators. Metrics can also be seen as a number. An example of this could be page views. As you can see, I can actually show you. This is really what I did a lot of my key metrics based off of. This audience, the acquisition, the behavior, and these were the key metrics that I really used when I looked towards my web analysis tools. Personas rely on objectives, goals, metrics, segments, and KPIs to help create a good persona. Specific data allows you to find a target audience through a persona. So we're going to take a look at the web analysis tools now. I've given you 3 to look at. The first one is Google Analytics, is the first one that I've decided to look at. When looking at Google Analytics, I really wanted to look towards the objective of marketing and selling worldwide and the KPI of number of clicks on ads or through other social sites. Below here is just a little picture of one of the samples that I found. So Google Analytics is a great tool in order to help determine Nike on more of a marketing level. The idea is to use the metrics such as, I really looked at acquisition metrics like referral, traffic sources, and keywords. And I wanted to do this to help determine number of clicks that can be tracked, and they can be tracked with Google Analytics. It is a tool that helps show traffic sources, patterns, and paid search statistics. One advantage is that it is integrated with Google AdWords. So let's take a look at a sample that I've given for you guys. I don't actually have Nike's Google Analytics, but here's just a sample report of it. I really want to take a look at the site usages and the traffic sources. So if you look over here, This Google Analytics shows you the traffic source overview, direct traffic, search engine and referring sites, a visitors overview, and a content overview. Below, it also then shows you the traffic sources. All traffic sources sent, top traffic sources, which you can see here on the top, on the bottom left, and keywords. So Google Analytics is really going to be geared for me towards looking at the traffic sources for Nike. Unfortunately, everything isn't perfect, and at times, due to certain ad filtering programs, some visitor data will be unseen. An advantage of Google, however, is Google Plus looks at this from a looking at this from a persona standpoint. Google Plus now has an identity platform. With this data, we can really narrow down a target audience with a strong persona. I think it's a good way to make a model of people. The next web analysis tool is Kissmetrics, and we're going to look at this with Inspire, Innovation, and Sell Message for objectives. We really want to look at the number of visits to the site by the same person, and that KPI, and that's more for loyalty. So one of the main metrics was unique visitors. We want to know what our users are doing once on our website. We need to be sure they are looking through our ads on the page or Nike Plus page. Kissmetrics is a way to find info on a website visitor. Kissmetrics tells you when and who is doing activity on your website. This can help with the KPI of number of loyalty visits, and we are able to look at the metrics of number of visits. One metric we are using is all pages. In order to determine whether users are buying into our message or feel inspired, it is important to see if they engage in one or more areas of Nike's website page. Are they returning to our site is a big question that needs to be asked. This is a look at our Kissmetrics sample, and this pretty much just breaks down for you the visited sites again. It shows you what week, for if it was week 1, it shows you the amount of people, the visitors to the site, the percentage. This is just a sample of what Kissmetrics can do for you. An advantage is that we can make necessary adjustments using Kissmetrics by looking at our website's strongest and weakest features. It can help us determine if the area we look to motivate Nike Plus is strong enough. The downside is that it lacks in the area of traffic info, which kind of leads me into the difference between Google Analytics and Kissmetrics. They are similar because they both show insight on their website. However, the difference is that Google is more towards traffic information. So when we want to deal with sources and referrals, we look to Google Analytics, whereas Kissmetrics gives you more in detail determining interaction on a site. The last web analysis tool is Woopra, and this is really going to be geared toward the number of logins and register signups to community, or the number of sales ordered average. Nike Plus focuses on community as well as social interaction. Woopra is a real-time analysis tool. It allows you to monitor more than one website at a time. Nike has many different features, Nike Plus being one of them, and through Woopra we can monitor these pages. We look towards our social media outlets, and this can help monitor those. A live chat feature, which Woopra has, can help determine some feedback info on whether people are actively using Nike Plus. Woopra helps monitor customer activity so it can determine whether or not people are logging on. A huge thing about Woopra is that it helps to increase conversation rate. It can show how far into a sales process the customer got. This can go a long way when figuring out logins and signups or sales for Nike's website. A big disadvantage, however, is that Woopra can be hard to navigate. And here's just taking a look at the Woopra sample. This is a funnel report, and what you can see, one of the big things is that it does show you signups, visits to the site, sign up, start trial, and convert to paid. Look down here, it tells you a day, Tuesday, March 11th. The visit to the site 100%, there's 0 signups, 0 start trial, and 0 convert to paid. Below, it shows you the visit to the site, the sign up, the start trial, and the convert to paid. It does a great way of being able to track for you the activities that's done on your site. When it comes to Woopra, however, compared to Google Analytics, Woopra focuses more on an individual customer, and that's one of the big differences between the two. I want to take a look at social monitoring tools because I think that when it comes to Nike, social monitoring tools are social outlets or social tools such as Facebook and Twitter, these are really important when it comes to a website such as Nike and just the brand overall of Nike. So I really want to take a look at 3 social marketing tools that can help us with this. Social mention is the first, and it is used to help monitor and track social media. Social media is a great tool to help market Nike as a brand. Nike has so many features such as Just Do It, Nike Training Club, Nike Plus. We want to understand what fans are talking about. Sentiment is important to help understand viewers' outlook of Nike's company. Social mention also shows top keywords and sources. Hootsuite helps measure social media aspects of Nike. It will organize and manage social networks, but also measure return on investment. And TweetDeck is very important because, as I've seen, Nike has taken over Twitter. Whether it's hashtags, um, Nike has taken over Twitter. Hashtags are everywhere, and through Twitter, Nike has categorized themselves. There's Nike Women now, Nike Training Club, Nike Pro, and TweetDeck will help organize them all. And it can also help to search specific track topics. Just going to show you a quick look at each of these. This is just a little look at social mention and shows you the sentiment over here, top keywords. This is a look at Hootsuite, and just taking a look at Twitter when you type in Nike, just the different tweets that they have, as well as the different followings: Nike Women, Nike Soccer, anything that could be related to Nike, it's on Twitter. So after collecting all my data, I have come up with the perfect persona, and it's the leader athlete. The leader athlete is a senior in college who's a 2-sport player and captain of both teams. She understands the importance of fitness. As a senior captain, she is looking to motivate and inspire her team. She has looked up to professional athletes her whole life and looks to take on their dedication and commitment. Female, she's 18 to 21. Her location is everywhere. She's a college student. Her key identifier, she plays soccer and basketball. I've also created a little scenario which helps to gear towards when she wants to navigate through the page of Nike. I've determined that the leader athlete is a buyer persona. However, her need to inspire her teammates can be seen as an audience persona, so in a sense they can overlap. Now we're going to take a look using that persona, her navigation. You want to keep in mind that using Google Analytics will help see where a typical user is coming from. A typical user would shop apparel, especially considering our persona as a college athlete. We want to look at it as though first she doesn't have any idea what Nike is. That's the first perspective that we're looking at it through. Through a Google search, she types in sports equipment to sports gear. And really, we didn't find Nike as a top source. It was usually Dick's Apparel that comes up first with any of these Google searches. And that could be a little troubling. It's very hard to look at if you are a member of Nike, if you do own Nike. That's something that you would want to fix. When you type in women's sports clothing, however, in a Google search, Nike does come up a lot quicker. It's just still not one of the top ones. So let's just go through the navigations ourselves for a second. Let's take a look at the Nike website. If we're going through her persona as a leader athlete and she is captain of a team, let's go through soccer. Let's go through soccer. Let's say that she's a soccer player. So she plays soccer, so there's 2 ways that she can do this. She can go through the women and look for shoes in soccer and go through the gear that way, or she can explore directly from the sport. So let's go through this way. She's going to choose soccer. Over here, it tells you Nike soccer products. So she's looking for gear for her team. Actually, let's do clothing instead. So she's going to look through clothing. Let's say it's off the pitch styles. Just different outfits for her team that she can go through. So she'd click it and then go through the process of what she wants to find, color, size, order. That's really how she would go through everything. It's not difficult once on the site to find things on Nike. It's just finding Nike itself. And that's what Google Analytics will help to do, to narrow down the traffic sources and referrals. Are there enough out there? And then once on the site, Kissmetrics as well as Bluebrand will help to determine their interaction, whether or not they're actually buying items. A big thing is that I really want to take a look at social media, and I really want to up the social interaction, and the website doesn't really have any links to that, and that needs to change. And this is just the works cited page for my findings. And that's the end of my presentation.